Just waiting for people to come in so I can do this quickly and go back to bed. I'll wait for this thing to notify people because I don't think it notifies people right away. I don't know why it takes so long to tell people. Hey, nope, not today or tomorrow. Artsy gal, Casey. Dropping stuff over here. Hi, Daniel Berry Sports. Charlie. Laced in Chains. Hi, Lila. Lacey. BGPO. It sucks that your names are not here. Some people have their tags as their name, but like I don't even know who people are with the tags sometimes that I normally would. So please don't think I don't know who you are. Actually, let me see if I can get my other phone so I can look at my chat. How annoying. YouTube has so many bugs. Let me pull this up on my other phone so I can actually see people. I need to address this because I feel it's important, and I'm gonna go downstairs. Give me a second. Hey, Liliani, Casey, Nika. Hey, Gigi, Sippy, Lularu, Mr. Dunham, Casey Kodaboda. All right, let me just go downstairs quick, and then I just want to explain something and make it clear so that there's no miscommunication, because I find that when, I don't know, I feel like you have to be everywhere all the time, and other people do not communicate things with you, so you don't even know things are happening, or I prefer not to find out things on a live stream instead of getting like a courtesy text. But whatever. I did get a text tonight from Nicolina, but it was not about me being doxxed or anything like that. Personally, everybody knows who I am. My phone number has been out there for many years. I don't think that, like, my address was put out or anything. Am I missing something? I don't know. But, like, I just posted my son's obituary on my community tab a couple days ago. I'm pretty sure everyone knows where I am on the map. But they did before that anyway, so I'm not really concerned about that. But I do think it's important to say my reasons for calling the other day when Ernie was live. I do have a reason for that. Hold on one sec. Let me get this on the right format too. If you're on the live stream, like on that format, that sucks. Go out, like click on my avatar, go out, click on the 3 dots on the side of the video, and then save to watch later and click on see list, and you just open it up and click on my live stream and you can actually see it in a regular format. Okay. And I'm going to look at it there too because this is annoying. I miss the days that YouTube was normal. So, hey Ziggy. Yeah, I do care about people. I'm all for having fun and shit, but I just don't think that the Ernie stuff is necessary. Ernie is definitely troubled, and he has a lot going on with like his mental. And personally, I can't say that I know for a fact that Ernie uses drugs or did or didn't that day. I have no proof of that, so who am I to say? Even if he was, I still feel that his mental health is far more important than if he was using drugs that day. Because as far as like what we've seen over the years with him, when the police show up, you can tell that he gets very you can tell that he gets very childlike. You know what I mean? Where he was asking the officer, like, he asked her to move a cup on the floor so he could stand up. So, like, to me, listen, I'm no doctor. I never even finished nurse's school, but I can say what I was observing of Ernie that morning when I woke up and saw the live stream and clicked on it. That to me was absolutely neurological. I don't even have any question about it. And I think that he had some toxicity going on. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. So when I saw that and I saw what was happening, and listen, other people are like interested in his sex life or his what he identifies as, or what, I don't care. I don't even, I think it's gross to talk about it. I get the jokes and stuff that all these people like go live and they have so much fun making fun of Ernie. That's not even my thing. I don't care about any of that. I cared about what I saw going on the live stream, and I just know how quickly things can go south. So like when I was in the live stream chat, I had said while it was going on, it was early in the morning, like maybe like 9. I had just woken up and I opened up YouTube and I saw everything that was going on. Yeah, you know, it is. I think it is triggering Casey. I feel the same way. I was worried. First, my initial thought was he had like panned the camera around and I saw that he was definitely not down south. Like, I know that they got snow, but I was like, where the hell is he? Is he still in Minnesota? Like, I had no clue, right? But something just told me that he was up my way. So I was thinking, there's no way that if Ernie goes outside, he's going to even make it. Like, it's -5 degrees that day. And, you know how Ernie doesn't like wear shoes when this is going on and doesn't wear clothing. And when he's having these episodes, which he normally always will say that he hasn't taken his medicine, I was concerned. I didn't care about anything else except how cold it was. And I think I was talking to Casey that morning and I said, if he goes outside and like he leaves that house, he is not going to live. Like, he's going to die for real. So I was thinking, this is just not a good situation, right? So that was like my first initial reaction, was I was just worried about regular, like in general. I was just worried about how cold it was outside because I couldn't even go outside for a cigarette and my fingers were like hurting just in like 2 minutes. Yeah, he's got a family, Sunnyside. He has family, but like he wasn't with his family or anything. So he's at some guy's house. I'm not even gonna get into that. It's crazy stuff. But he stayed there that night, and then I guess the next day shit at the fan. But so that was the day before. So I had made my thoughts pretty, I think, clear the morning before when I saw what was going on. Then the next morning, the police were there in the living room with him, right? And I'm like, wow. So there were live streams going on about it. There were a couple that I saw. I think I went into Selah's chat. Right, Casey? It was Selah's chat that I was in. I think so. So when I had gone in there, people weren't like, they weren't too bad. Everybody seemed to be like pretty normal. And then I won't get into a couple of the things that went on in there because I just don't even feel like it. It's not necessary. I don't even need to deal with drama, but there were some things going on or whatever. Yeah, Crystal, it's not the first time. I just showed him being teased the first time he puts himself in dangerous situations. It's worrisome. Yeah, it is. But I think that while these things are happening, it's probably so distressing to people watching it that are on the other side of the computer. So it is important that people definitely there I think everybody's feelings should be taken into account because other people that are watching have had things happen in their life or like someone they love that's gone through something or even for themselves. Like for instance, if you have ever even been in that position yourself or dealt with similar situations, like that can be triggering to many people, Crystal. It could be to anybody. Hey, Crybaby. Thank you. Hi, Linky Tor. How are you? Hi, Carla. Good to see you, Carla. Be real. It was hard to watch for me, says Pretty Sweet Pea. Well, see, and like you admit that, and that's good. Because if you can admit that it's hard to watch or that it's not healthy for you, then just click off, you know? But like, so for the reason I called the police, I want to explain this. I didn't call the police on Ernie for the same reasons other people did. And I just want to make that clear before I go to bed because I'm getting really frustrated with the way things appear on the outside, but nobody really conveys what the actuality of the situation is. And that's a bit upsetting because should I have to do a live right now? No, I shouldn't have to sit here and do a live at all. But I called because I wanted them to know that Ernie is a mental health subject, that he's not a harm to people like everybody makes it out to be. I think he is more of a harm to himself because I really, like I said the day before, if he would have left that house, if he didn't have anywhere to go, he would have been dead. It was too cold out. Like you'll literally die in the cold up here. I've never felt in my life cold like this. So that's why I called. So when I called, I was on the phone with Casey. Casey was on the phone with me, so she heard the whole thing. She could even speak to it. So, like, I called the dispatch and just told them I was calling because Ernie has a very big group of followers online and that this happens a lot and that Ernie has a lot of people that call the police on him. And I wanted to let them know that he hadn't taken his medicine, that he does have mental health issues. That way, they're not just like showing up thinking that there's some rando in a house with a knife that's going to kill people, right? Like, there's a difference there, I think. Ernie was like hanging out in front of a mirror. I watched this. Like, I watched it happen. He was like playing with his shadow on the wall, flexing in the mirror, flexing in the shadows on the wall. Like, I don't know. I just like really don't think all of these things are necessary. I get people have their own opinions. People that have followed Ernie for years, much longer than I have. I've only been watching Ernie for like, how many, 4 years? And I don't watch religiously like a lot of people do. Personally, I don't watch shit about Ernie these days. But I did watch those couple days, right? So I don't know what he's said or what he's done, but it didn't matter because in that moment when I was watching, I only saw what I saw and knew what I knew. So that's why I called, so that nothing would happen to anybody, including the officers or people in the house. Like, I don't think that people realize that if someone is under the influence of any substance and at the same time isn't taking medication that's prescribed to them for their mental health issues, that is such a recipe for disaster already. And then knowing how he reacts to law enforcement to amplify the situation, it is really getting close to him being taken out on a live stream him getting shot, I would like to say that if that happened, that people would really feel awful and regret their actions, but I don't think they would. I think there's actually one person, and I know for a fact, that would feel awful and would never fucking get over it. I can't speak to others. I can't speak to what others would feel like if something happened to Ernie and they felt that they were part of it. I think some people would just hit the live button and they wouldn't give a fuck. And that's awful. That's awful. But like, it's only a matter of time before something terrible happens and it ends up in a casualty. That's just my opinion. So I called for that reason. I called to make sure, because I just noticed that like my name gets thrown around and I don't want it lumped into the category of me calling the police for a nefarious reason. I called for a good reason, and it was after the police had already shown up and I could see what was happening. Luckily, the officers that were there, they handled him with much care. That's not common for the Northeast. They're pretty brutal up here, so I did feel that in that moment it was important to call. And they were really, really good with him, I felt. And I thought it was better to do that than not. I don't think that, like, I don't know if, I know people get it, but I don't think that they really, really get it. Has anyone tried to like put themselves in someone else's shoes ever, or try to think of what it might be like if things really went wrong? Because I know this has happened so many times that there's no possible way that there's no reflection on. And then like people will say, well, Ernie said this to me, or Ernie said that to me. And it's like, well, what did you say to Ernie that happened? Like, what was your reaction? And what's his reaction? Like, not there, it's all a chain reaction. Everything is a chain reaction. So what occurred for him to say this crazy shit to you, right? So like when people like give me excuses, it's like I don't know that whole story, and it doesn't matter because all that I see in that moment is what I was watching in front of me. Does that make sense? So like I'm saying, if someone comes to me and tries to explain, well, he did this, and this, I'm like, okay, but that doesn't matter in that moment because none of that shit is happening anymore, and now we're here, right? So I called. I'm not hiding that. I gave them my name. Do you think that when I called, I didn't know that someone would possibly get the record and see my name? But I wasn't going to lie about my name to the cops, right? Like, I just called, gave them my name, my number when they asked. Obviously, Ernie's paperwork goes everywhere online, right? I just want it to be clear why I made the phone call. I did it to make sure that they knew that he hadn't taken his mental health medication in almost a week that I knew of. And I think that they needed to know that so that they could pull resources from wherever they needed to pull them for themselves and for him, because, I think that's important. They're just like going off the accusations of the internet and look at the report that was written. That shit's insane. That is just utterly insane. I was reading that thinking, wow, wow. What a fucking fucked up community. I swear to God. Let me read my chat. Ziggy says, I'm glad you did what you did. I didn't know until now, but things like this is why I love you. Well, like my own friends didn't even know that I called. So like they're wondering like what's going on. Benny had a live stream earlier and was talking about this, but my friends didn't know. I was sleeping. I fell asleep and literally I listened to that, fell asleep for like 2 hours, and basically like left my friends to wonder what was going on. I really just don't get that. Like, I didn't know that I was doxxed or anything like that until I heard it on a live stream. So Nicolina reached out to me in my text, asked if I called the police on Ernie, and sent me a screenshot, but never told me I was doxxed anywhere, right? I don't know, was I doxxed? I don't know if I even was. So I know my name and my phone number were, but everyone knows who I am. Like I said, I just posted my son's obituary on my community tab like 3 days ago. I'm not hiding where I am. I've never hid my identity from this place. I've never hidden who I am on YouTube. Like, yes, I'm a private person. I don't give my address out, obviously, but like, is that what, I don't know what even happened. And again, nobody has even come to me to say, Tiffany, this is occurring right now. Or, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. This happened. Like, I'm finding out about this on a live, and then like I'm exhausted and fell asleep, and then all of my friends are wondering like what the fuck's going on, and nobody knew what was going on, I think, except Casey. But Casey was busy doing something also. So it's like, I feel rude because my friends don't even know what the fuck is happening. And it's like I'm like leaving them in the lurch just to listen to stuff online, and they're not hearing it from me. So I had to go like apologize to them a little while ago and tell them what was going on. Crybaby said, "This is how this place works." It's kind of sad, honestly. Pretty sweet P. I pray he gets the help he desperately needs. Well, I think he will, because they brought him to, we have state hospitals up here, so they don't have any left in Connecticut and they don't have any left in Rhode Island, but Massachusetts has a couple. They got rid of the one in Connecticut a long time ago, and that's not good either. Getting rid of state hospitals is like really not doing much help for this area at all. But it's more like a jail. So the state hospitals, the mental hospitals they're old. Like they were built in the early 1800s. They're really beautiful too, though. I assumed you knew based on the way it was being talked about. No, I didn't. I didn't know. No one even told me. So I don't get that. I will, Lanky Tour. I will. I've been taking care of myself, don't worry. But this is what I mean. Like, everyone's like, take care of yourself. And then you got people that, like, really don't give a fuck, right? Like, they don't give a fuck. Self-crowned. So it was Evil Ghost who doxed Tiffany. I have no idea. I don't think that it was, like, meant to be done. Like, I don't think anybody meant to do anything. I don't know what their intentions were because I didn't see it. One of my friends did send me, I think it was Lost Degenerate and then Evil Ghost channel, but I didn't go look. I saw a post from Evil Ghost that was like apologizing, and that he didn't mean to do that. He wouldn't have done that, or whatever. And I really didn't even know what happened. So, but he said he was taking the stream down and then he was gonna alter it or whatever. But thank you, I appreciate that. But I don't think anything crazy was put in there. I mean, I don't think so, because they only asked for my name and my phone number. Yep, seems like it, but edit it after. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, I didn't even know it was happening. I had no clue until tonight at like 8 o'clock or something. What's bad, in my opinion, is he's being paid to pull all these stunts, and then the law is being called on him. Weirdo psychological games on here. You know, Peace, Pugs, and Understanding, that is an interesting comment, because there are things that don't make sense about all of it. But, I mean, I don't have enough time to sit around and dig through the Ernie files, you know? Beth Disbrow. Lisa said she called the police. Yeah, I know that Lisa said she called the police, but like my name was put out tonight as if I had. The names that were put out were Lisa, me, and Nicolina, like as if us three as a group called on Ernie. I did not call the police on Ernie. I called for him so that they knew that he has mental health issues. I didn't want to see things go really bad, and I'm probably the only person that called to make sure that they knew they weren't dealing with some kind of like I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why people even do this. Like, why can't, who's gonna have anything to talk about if Ernie's not around? So like if the people that cover Ernie and only cover Ernie, which I don't think there's really a lot anymore that do that, but it's only when stuff's going on with Ernie, right? So like what are they going to cover when now that he's in jail? Like what we've seen this before with other people in our community. You do no service to take away the content that you're using. If you put Ernie in jail, there goes your live streams. Like there are people that only stream Ernie. So what are they going to do? Maybe they'll go back and do the old ones. I don't know, but I don't even care, but it's just like a point to make. I didn't see it, or I totally would have. What was it, Ziggy, that you totally, oh, like if you would have saw it happening? Ziggy, I saw like your live, so I saw your live from last night. I remember I texted you and I was laughing about something. Ziggy's facial expressions like kill me sometimes. When she's cammed up and she's talking, I fucking lose it. I was laughing so hard this morning when I woke up over Chronicles of the Shady put out a video of Jays for Justice. She was talking about nonsense. Did everybody see that one? She was talking like nonsense. I don't know. I have not woken up laughing in the longest time. I don't know why I laughed so hard, but I did. Then I was watching Ziggy and I was laughing at that. I slept a lot today, so I wasn't really watching a lot. Cindy, sadly, my uncle took his life when I was in high school, and thankfully my parents survived through that. That's awful. That's awful. I know a lot of people have predicted that I won't make it. I mean, I think I'll be fine, but you don't think you would be able to make it through every day, but somehow we do. Somehow as parents, we do. Not everybody does, though. That's a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the people that have gotten me through this, because it really has made a difference in my life. I don't think people realize how they would feel if they pushed them over the edge. Gigi, I do, though. I think that they've had so much time to think about it, because it's been at this point so many times already before that there's no way people have not thought about what it would do to them. I know for a fact there are people that have thought about what this would do to them if something happened to him. I know for a fact. I've literally had conversations. So I know that people would not be okay with something awful happening to Ernie. You know, I know that people would not feel good about that. I know they would feel guilty and what they would carry with them. It's been spoken of, so I know that's not the truth. I don't think that, I think on the outside, hold on a sec, I think on the outside, sometimes it looks or appears that people do not care, or that they wouldn't be affected if something like a tragedy occurred online due to this internet cesspool of harassment and bullying. But they do know what it would do to them. They do know they'd never forgive themselves. Like, so I think that it's handled with a lot more care than it once was. I can tell that it's not like it used to be with certain people, where they were like hardcore trying to cause problems. And this time around, it's a lot less, because I do think people have thought about that. I know they've thought about that. And then there's other people that I can say for a fact would absolutely not give a fuck. They would probably rejoice in something like that because they're sick. They're sick. It's all it comes down to. Some people actually do know what doing that could cause, and they don't care. That's the truth. But to know the difference between who those people are, you have to figure it out on your own. They do that for content, and few love to be involved and in the center of attention. Some people do it also because they've been around for so long and they know they're the best person to cover it. So you've got like, so then comes like the influence of others, right? So like influence on the internet when you're a creator and you're not doing things like I have not told the people around me when I'm about to go live lately. I just go live. Except the two that I scheduled that I was talking about, Queen Bee and all the shit that went on over the last week. Those were the only two where I've been like, I'm gonna go live. Like I've told them like 20 minutes before. But like when I go live from my phone like this, I don't go give everybody a heads up that I'm going live. I just do it on a whim. And I know what I'm going to say in my head, and no one needs to tell me like, what I'm going to talk about. I don't like confer with people about it. I just hit the live button and do what I'm going to do and say what I need to say. And I just do it quickly, Like if I'm going live in the middle of the night before I go to bed, it's just because I want to get something off my chest and clear something up. This definitely needs to be cleared up because I don't want my name associated with people that nefariously called the police on Ernie, because I am not one of those people. And I don't appreciate it. So I'm here to say I called, and what for? It was for the fact alone that I wanted them to know things that they were getting fed by the internet were not all just the case. I wasn't going to say, oh, he doesn't use drugs. I don't know if he did or not. Who the hell am I to say? I didn't see him with drugs. I didn't see him with drug paraphernalia. So why would I ever lie about that? I do know, though, that he hadn't taken his medicine and that he is a mental health patient and he suffers from psychosis. That's a really dangerous combo, all of it. And then add the police in. No. So I'm not calling the fucking police on anybody who's got these problems. I only called to help the situation and make sure that they didn't just barge in there thinking someone was like holding somebody hostage with a knife inside a house, and then you come upon somebody who's not mentally there. Okay, who is also scared of the police and doesn't act normally around the police either. So I'm not like in that whole Ernie thing where people want to do this weird shit and watch it because Ernie stays live and they see the whole thing and they think it's fun or whatever. I don't care what's fun is fun for them. They could do whatever they want. I was just doing what I felt was the human thing to do in that moment. That was it. I standing alone in my own space, in my own mind, with my own thoughts and my own feelings, and that was it. They were very patient with him. And I'm not sure if it helped or if it didn't, but I called as soon as I saw, and I said barely anything to them because they're a busy county. That's not like Medford is not their own police. They don't have like a town police department. It's the county. So it's Norfolk County. And then that goes to Dedham. So it's not like it is in other places up this way. It kind of runs differently. Haven't looked at anything with Ernie. Praise okay. I think he is. Jenny, I think that he went to the state hospital, so he'll get hooked up with what he needs to for like mental health. I think it'll be a long time before he's back online though, because it's just my prediction. Who knows? Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I want to make it clear why I called for Ernie the other day, because that way when people are covering this over the course of the next 5 months, I'm here on my channel. What I said is from me, my explanation. Not that I need to explain to anybody, but since I see where this is going and what direction it's headed in, I wanted to speak for myself because nobody has given me the courtesy. Like, I really want to know why. I'm not going to ask. I didn't even feel like it. I want to know why Nicolina would message me with the screenshot, send it to my phone, and then be like, "Did you call the police on Ernie?" And I was like, "No, I didn't call on Ernie. I called to make sure that they knew everything I just told you guys." She didn't tell me anybody was doxing me. She didn't say that. No one fucking told me this. No one. Like, what's the point of asking? So, whatever. It doesn't even matter. I just want to make it clear on my end, and that's it. Because she was hoping you did call on him. She was happy. She knew I didn't call on him. She had to have, because I was in chats that morning and I was not okay with what I was seeing. And I was very clear about that and my feelings about the neurotoxicity that I believe he was suffering from that day and the next day. I think Ernie has things going on with his organs, and I don't think that his organs are working properly. He has a blood disorder and also has HIV as well. So he needs medical care and attention. And I don't think that people give the courtesy either of like taking into account what these diseases can do to a human body or to their brain. Like, let's have a little bit of compassion, people. I'm just saying, like, and not everybody is out to get Ernie. Like, they want to just cover it and have fun, do whatever they're doing. Some people, though, really do want the worst, and that's awful. Like, it's one thing to cover it, make your jokes, whatever, but so that's my take on it. And I just want to come live and say what I need to say because no one else is fucking saying it. What about psychosis from a traumatic event? Oh, yeah, Susie, I'm sure. I'm sure that he has traumatic events in his past. I mean, his brother's been in jail since like 8 with maybe 2 years out of the system. I haven't watched anything on him since he got arrested. Only 2 chats, a few minutes each. I got to catch up. I felt bad for him. Yeah, he shits and giggles. How are ya? Yeah, Nika. I mean, not to thank me. I mean, it was it was a quick I would do that for anybody though. It's not because like, oh, Tiffany feels bad for Ernie. Like you'll hear now people are gonna be like, she's manipulated by Ernie and she's been sucked in, or no, I actually am very aware of Ernie. And I've spoken to Ernie before many times. I'm all clued in and I'm definitely fully aware of all things Ernie. It's just the way I am wired, and that will never change. I think that it's all fun and games sometimes, but sometimes it's not, and I know when it's not. That's all. I mean, as far as what people do, like, I couldn't care less, but I do what I'm going to do. So that's that. And now this is here, so if anybody wants to refer back to it, they have my own words. No one's speaking for me, and it's not misconstrued anywhere. Because I'm not going to have people running around here saying that I called the cops on Ernie and got him arrested. That's not happening. I called after they were already there to make sure that they knew that he is not taking his medication, has mental health issues, and needs to be handled with care because not all police officers are well equipped to deal with mental health. Do you realize that most police officers have no idea what to do with psych patients? They have no clue what to do with them. Some of them get the shit beat out of them. Some of them die in situations like this. It's a real thing. And people know that too. I think they do enjoy the worst. Not everybody, I'm not saying everybody, but there are some that do. Some people do find they don't benefit from it, but they do find enjoyment out of it. So just want to come live and say that. And I am not going live tomorrow. Tomorrow is an off day for me. Probably won't be live this week. I don't foresee that happening. I will be busy. So I figured I would just do this now, get it over with, because I'm sure they're going to be, I don't like rumors with my name attached to them. I like to be open, upfront, and forward about the things I do and my involvement in things. That's it. I just want it on my channel where it can be heard, and whoever needs to play this can play it, my own words, and nothing can be taken out of context or whatever. And I do not think that, I mean, I don't know, you can send it to me. I mean, that's what should have been done anyways, in my opinion, is whoever knew that this was going on earlier should have told me, like, hey, I just want to let you know that this is going on here, here, and here, and go check it out. But, like, that's not what happened. So now whoever can take this and say, hey, you covered this or whatever, this is what Tiffany said about it. I try to be straightforward with everything. Yeah. Hey, beach lady. Thank you. Oh, I'm self-crowned. I've been sleeping a lot. I slept like all day today. I'm still tired though. Yeah, most end up in jail, not the hospital. Thanks for saying that, Gigi. So I'm glad you said that. The fact that Ernie went directly to the hospital tells me they knew exactly what they had on their hands. Thank God, because that doesn't always happen. And especially in the Northeast, forget it. But they knew exactly what to do with him, and they brought him where he needed to go. Ernie doesn't need jail. He needs help. And I don't even know if that kind of help could ever be given to him, because it's so far gone and it's so advanced, and he's at the age where you cannot undo this stuff. So, it's awful. You know, it's awful. It's really sad. And that's why I probably feel the way I do too, because I know it's already at the point of no return. So that's really dangerous. Most do end up in jail, not the hospital. I'm glad they did take him to a hospital. The only place he could ever get help is the hospital. And hopefully he will stay at the hospital and get the help that he needs. Yeah, I know that most people do know me and why I would call. And they have my comments from that morning, so they know why I would call. And maybe people do know why I called and that's just didn't want to say why I called, because they wanted to make it look like I was doing what their people were doing. That's not the case. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. This is one thing I do not agree with. What kind of help does Ernie need? He needs mental health care, Jonathan. He needs mental health care and to be treated with compassion and not to have people making things worse for a show on the internet, because his life is real. He is a human life. He is somebody to someone. He is someone's son. He is someone's brother. He's someone's friend, just like we all are somebody to somebody. And I think a little bit of compassion could go a long way. Could probably have a whole lot of fun with Ernie without doing all of these crazy things. Sean told me to get Bergs. Yeah, I heard Bergs is back. Is Sean in here? Sean the Brit. I texted you the other night. Did you get that? I forgot all about it till now, actually. I wanted to make sure if the number that you gave me works. Can we start the heavy breathing part now, please and thank you? No, I think that was like the one and only time you'll probably ever hear that, unless I'm like taking a walk or something. Sean, maybe in the summer when I'm at the beach, when I take like beach walks or something, you can hear my heavy breathing again. Oh my God. Check your text and make sure that that worked, that it went through. I sent you like a big long thing. I answered back your email through a text though. Jen. Does he need therapy? Probably, Jonathan. But I think all people could use therapy, right? All right, guys, I'm going to bed. Have a good night. Short and sweet live here, hopefully. Crystal says, I know some of Ernie's family. Ernie confirmed that it hits me a bit different the last few weeks. I'm just glad he is in good hands in a good hospital. Yeah, Crystal. It probably hit you different the last couple weeks because it is getting to the point where it's getting close to the end here if this keeps going on. And I think that people can feel, I know I felt that way. The morning he went live, the day before he got arrested, I was very upset. And I even said I would go pick Ernie up and bring him to a hospital. So, like, I was making myself available to bring Ernie to the hospital because people were trying to stop Ubers from being able to pick him up. Number one, Ubers don't work that way. You can't just call Uber and say not to pick someone up. They'd have to have actual, they would have to have actual reports from Uber drivers on their app. Like on their Uber profile, you would have to be marked as a danger to drivers. Like you can't just call Uber on someone and say, oh, don't pick this person up. That's not how it works. But some of these people have no clue. They've never even stepped foot in an Uber before in their life. But I even offered to pick up Ernie and bring him to a hospital if he needed to. So I knew he was close by and like literally like right in my backyard. So why wouldn't I offer help, you know? Because I know he doesn't have people around here. Can I just say we don't know what Ernie has done? He has been out here traveling state to state, having sexual relations. Not Cindy, though, that's not our business. That is not our business. If Ernie wants to have sex with a different man every day of the week, that's none of our business. People are weird when they're getting all up in that. Like, I don't get that. I'm not entertained by that. And do you know how many of these people that make fun of Ernie for being gay, who have gay kids or gay family members or gay friends or they're gay themselves? Like, how are you going to make fun of someone for being gay when your kid might be gay or your family member might be gay or your best friend or your sister or your brother or whoever? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't agree with that either. Like, I feel like people have been conditioned to think that this is our business. It's not. And the same things that people are doing to Ernie have been done to other people before. It's a trend. Like, it's a trend. And I just really don't like it at all. Now, if people want to bash Ernie for being gay and having sex with men, go ahead. It's not my business. I don't even watch stuff like that because those chats are nasty. Like, that's too much for me. I could pretty much get down with anybody, but the shit flying around in chats about Ernie and like just even the vocabulary around, I cannot like do it. I'm sorry, but that is victims, and there was a woman on YouTube that is being tested now. I thought everyone knew Orla. Yeah, I know about that lady. Are you talking about Debo? Or is there a new one? He absolutely should be telling his partners, but what I'm saying is like, I would never get into that kind of conversation on my channel. I don't think so like, I feel like that falls into like the religion category, or that falls into the category of like all of the things that you're not supposed to discriminate on, like religion, sex, your orientation. We're not supposed to discriminate based on race. These are all the things that are not, it's just my personal preference though. So like, Cindy, you've been with me for what, 10 years just about? When have I ever done that? So I'm not going to not do that now. I'm not going to change it now. I just feel like, when have you ever seen me, honestly, and you can tell me if I have, when have I ever sat on my channel and like honed in on someone's like sexual preference or bashed on them for being gay? I've never done that. Have I made comments through the years about people? Sure, but I don't like get all into people's, I don't do that. Like to make a comment, yeah, but like what you're doing right now, that's fine. Asking a question, making a comment, but like as a creator, as a channel creator, I don't do that. Like I don't let my chat fill up with a bunch of nasty shit. Like stuff that makes you feel dirty to be in the chat looking at. You know what I mean? Lila, crazy, my exact thoughts. I don't agree with not dissecting into someone's sex life like that. It's just weird. It is weird. I don't know what Ernie does. Like, yeah, we've heard stories, but I don't know what's true, what's not. And quite frankly, I don't want to know. I do not want to know. In my opinion, Ernie, all the things I said, and anything other than that is just so not for me. I think it's important to alert people who may not know. Just like Chris, he had no idea, and that's sad. And also, Ern faked having cancer instead of telling his partners. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with him not telling his partners what he's got going on at all. I believe that's a crime in some states, and he should be honest. But I mean, also, everyone should know that he has, sexually transmitted disease, and that shouldn't be kept from anybody. The police need to know that type of thing. People in healthcare need to know that type of thing. But chances are when he gets there, they're taking his blood in labs, so they're always going to find out. The other people like that are having sex with someone or finding out later, I don't know. I don't go that deep though. See what I mean? Like I don't get into all that. That's the difference. Some people do. I don't listen to like the garbage shit like that. Once people start throwing around all types of like sex toys shit in the chat and all kinds of nasty garbage, I get out. People go with what they hear. They don't get the real story. I don't think anyone would ever really get the whole story with Ernie because I bet you it's far more wild than anybody's imagination could comprehend. But none of that shit is my business anyhow. Like, I don't want to fucking know. See, like, I can feel a certain way about things, but still not want the guy to get shot on a live stream. It's just not my thing. So with that, I'm going to bed. Now you all know what my position on this is and how I feel. I just don't want, I don't want my name being put in anything to do with Ernie that isn't true. And I don't have anything to do with the Ernie stuff either. Like, I don't really get involved in all of that. So, like, I can watch, but not involve myself in a lot of it. I actually was following Ernie quite a bit. I was listening to a lot too back in like November, October. And then a friend of mine had said, I'm backing away from Ernie. I'm not doing nothing with Ernie. Like, yada, yada, yada. So I just stopped watching Ernie. I think both parties should protect themselves. It's not all on him. Oh, for sure. Yeah, right. But I mean, even if you're protecting yourself, the other person should still be telling you, like, you know what I'm saying? Because not all things you can protect yourself from. That's it. That one is difficult. That one there. Like, I don't even like talking about this shit. I don't know how people can sit around talking about Ernie's sex life like they do, because I get grossed out so easily. So if you're in chats and shit and people ever say that I tried to like harm Ernie, please clear that up because that is not true. And Casey K was with me on that call. I called three-way and she is my witness actually. I called after the police were there. And that's that. And I will be back another day. I don't know when though. So everybody have a good night and sleep tight. And I'll talk to you soon.